watching a master at work.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to another edition of Don't Shoot Your Messenger podcast. I'm your boy Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy Chris G.
So we live from Chris is the man, so he can have these private interviews. Like
I'm in an undisclosed location, man. That's all I can say at the moment.
Yeah, yep, he is. So we haven't been on air in 2 weeks.
I feel like forever, man.
I know, doesn't it? It just feel like we haven't been up here since like, I don't even know when, but it's all good. We back.
No doubt. Glad to be back.
Yeah, it's we have a lot to talk about. We definitely have a lot to talk about. We got a lot of football. We got a lot of
football,
basketball,
a lot of b-ball.
We got some boxing, movies. I mean, we can go on.
Yeah, man. we really missed a lot, man. I'm telling you, there's definitely a lot of subjects to touch on for sure.
Yeah, I just think that we just it's been a not too much craziness, but it's been enough where we like, damn, we haven't even hit that subject yet.
But there's been a couple of situations that I felt like have been a little crazy, though. I'm not gonna lie. Couple of situations that got me that's really got me scratching my head.
So, and what would that be?
The most outrageous thing that's got me scratching my head right now is definitely the Peyton Manning story. Mm-hmm. That right there has got me. It's got me to the point where I really just don't understand people in general. Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes my outlook on people. It takes it from an out of sports context to, just people in general. It just got me puzzled. That whole situation.
Well, so for some of the listeners that don't know what's going on, Peyton Manning, he was accused in 2011 of taking HGH. HGH in the sports world stands for human growth hormone. Basically, it's a steroid, if you will, yep. and it's banned in a lot of sports. They feel that.
Every sport I think is banned.
Yeah, but for some listeners, who don't understand what it is. So basically, it's a steroid. You can't use it because they think that. Well, they feel that if you use steroids, everyone is now on the same playing field. So that's why it's banned. To the Peyton Manning situation, I think that it was odd. Left field. I would have never thought I would hear something about Peyton Manning as far as drugs or steroids. And I mean steroids, seriously, are you kidding me? Like, he's one of the hardest working guys. That kind of blew my mind. And who else did they kind of
they threw Clay Matthews, Larry Neal, Ryan Howard, Ryan Zimmerman, Julius Peppers, and what's his name, Harrison from the Steelers.
Yeah, okay.
Those were all of the names that were allegedly involved in this situation, but I don't even know why it's a situation. I don't know why it's a situation, and I say that because when you look at the actual facts that everybody has right now, is that the guy who told the story for, I don't even know, it's Al Jazeera News or something like that, mm-hmm. Whatever it is, foreign broadcasting place. Their source who got the story recanted everything, said he was lying. Yep. The guy who actually took the story is known as a liar and has a really, really sketchy past. Mm-hmm. They, in the actual interview that he illegally recorded him without his knowledge, the guy never said that Peyton Manning used steroids. He said that Peyton Manning's wife had steroids shipped to the house in her name. And then supposedly there is some type of medical condition that Ashley Manning, Peyton Manning's wife, had, where she was on HGH, but prescribed by a doctor, and she's not an NFL athlete or a professional athlete at all, so she can use whatever the fuck she wants. And that's, number 3. And number 4, just the guy who told, the Al Jahiri newspaper or media place worked at the place that Peyton Manning allegedly took these HGHs. He worked there in 2013. Peyton Manning stopped going there in 2011. They said he was a pharmacist who prescribed it. Come to find out, he isn't a pharmacist. He was just an intern. Everything to me about this story says, red flag, red flag. Why are we giving this the time of day? But yet this is the first thing I hear on Mike and Mike, First Take, his and hers, outside the lines. But it's everywhere.
But you got to remember, in news period, bad news, good news, news is news. So to have Peyton Manning's name, even intertwined in the story, is like, oh wow. Especially if you're not a Peyton Manning fan, or if you don't root for his team, like, oh well, he had 2 neck surgeries. There's no way. But
4 neck surgeries.
I'm sorry, 4 neck surgeries. He had to sit out like almost 2 seasons, in total. But that's how people get their name. So this scumbag, he's going to go to TMZ or some not talking about TMZ, but he's going to go to some sleazy site where he's going to be able to sell this story, get an interview, get his 15 minutes of fame, and voila. And what's going to happen is, when you have so many dumb people who are going to say, well, even if he's not telling the truth, there must be some truth behind it, because why would he just up and do this for no reason? Because
something that Skip Bayless said.
Yeah.
So that's almost exactly what Skip Bayless said.
And I didn't watch Skip Bayless. I haven't been keeping up. But yeah, so what's going to happen is, this guy, he's trying to get his foot in the door, and he knows, and he probably know how to work the media. Put a story out there. It's half true, right? Because his wife does have steroids come to the house. Steroids come to his house, Peyton Manning's house. He's probably using it. Boom, 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 boom. Guess what? You're not even going to know this guy for Peyton Manning's story in the 5 years if we don't nip it in the bud. But if we let it go, oh my God, Peyton Manning, could it be? How can it be? This guy's buzz is just going to keep, just improving. It's going to keep growing. It's going to keep growing. So us as knowledgeable sports people who actually understand the sports, ignore this coward. Ignore him. He probably never played sports his whole life. I mean, are you kidding me? No one cares. But again, I'm not going to give the time of day. But I know you're a big Peyton Manning fan, and I respect. I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan, and you know that about me. And listen, I'm pretty sure that this is gonna blow over, and I understand that, since this guy brought it up and it's actually a thing, the NFL is gonna have to look into it. The Colts already came out back in Peyton Manning saying that they got everything open for the NFL to take a look at. Yeah, because
Peyton Manning is already open, saying that they, anything that they need to look at, they can look at. And he also brought up, possibly bringing up a lawsuit against this this source that brought everything to light. But the problem that I got the most from it is the comments of people. The people have already, not even knowing the full story, people have already convicted Peyton of using HGH.
Of course.
That's the part where I get it's his name has been sullied already. It just has been sullied. But listen, mostly by the haters, but there's a lot of cynics in this world, and they're just gonna go with, I don't care if he's a liar and everything he says sounds like a lie. If you mention somebody's name with HGH, they're going with that person. They're just going with that person took HGH, and that's what I'm most upset about. That's what rubs me mainly the wrong way, and it's got me just puzzled on people in general. They're not looking at the story. They're not looking at the facts. They're not looking at all the evidence in front of them. They're just going, well, every other professional athlete that's ever been linked to HGH has been guilty, so this is no different. Open and shut case.
Of course.
And that's it's disheartening. And I got a rule that I don't feel bad for millionaires. But I definitely feel that Peyton is getting a raw deal. Innocent till proven guilty is just literally just been thrown out the window with him. He's guilty in the eyes of the public, and it's about 50-50, I would say, from people who support him and think that this is just a bunch of crock to people who think he's lying. But when you hear all the sports journalists and all the other news shows talk about it, they go, well, they said, I believe Peyton, but let's play devil's advocate to this. Let's try to bring in the other side. No, fuck the other side. There is no other side. Everything on the other side is bogus. And until proven otherwise, until some actual facts come out that's concrete and don't have holes in them, I'm on Peyton Manning's side. That's it.
And it's again, sex sells. Bullshit sells in this country. So if you have a lot of bull, people gonna run with it. So I think that a lot of people are running with the bull because, again, this is Peyton Manning versus someone who never got in trouble. So a lot of the skeptics and haters are gonna say, oh yeah, so he's not that good like we thought. He's great.
Well, you know what though? But I think people need to understand what HGH actually does. And if he was taking it, he was taking it so that he can heal. Because he has a broken neck. Him taking HGH doesn't make him a better quarterback. It gets his body back so that he can actually go out on the field and play. Mm-hmm. That's what HGH does. Listen, it's illegal, and that's the only reason why I think Peyton Manning didn't take it. It's against the rules in the NFL, and he just strikes me as the guy that has the integrity that wouldn't put himself in a position to even do something like that.
I don't think
so. I totally think everything about this story is BS, and I really don't want to give it the time of day because it doesn't deserve it. But I'm gonna spit my 2 cents, man, and I'm gonna just say how bogus, how outlandish and ridiculous this story sounds. And for anybody who's gonna believe it, with the amount of evidence and facts that are on the table right now, you're just an idiot. You're just
exactly.
If you want to reserve judgment until you hear more information, I'll give you that. I will give you that. But I don't want. I'm tired of hearing everybody saying, "Well, Lance Armstrong denied it and he was lying. Rafael Palmeiro denied it and he was lying. Ryan Braun denied it and he was lying." Peyton Manning is none of those guys.
Nope.
He's none of those guys that everybody's been bringing up, Alex Rodriguez and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and Barry Bonds and so on and so forth. He's none of those guys, and I think he's earned the cachet to get respected. Like he's not one of those guys, and if he's gonna come out and deny it, I'm gonna take his word. He seemed like a guy in the press conference. Mm-hmm. He seemed like a guy that was ticked off, that was really irritated that something like this was even a story.
I would be too, especially if you put in all this work, and being a former athlete, like I used to be, and like we used to be, you know what it takes to become a champion. So when someone, tears down your character of your hard work, I think that's when you hurt. Like any type of work you do, whether it's in sports, whether it's shoveling shit, it don't matter. If you're the best at what you do, and that's your craft, and when someone try to take away from your hard work of the craft, you get offended. Damn right he's offended. And he should be. He should be offended. Now.
Yeah, he should be. He should be.
If, watching how hard he worked, watching how hard he rehabbed, watching, what it took for him to become a MVP caliber athlete after a neck injury that people say he should have retired after. That no HGH, steroids, whatever, could help you, So, again, it is something to be upset about because that's your character. That's your hard work. That's your, blood, sweat, and tears going into your craft. So for somebody to come knock your craft, damn right you got attitude.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I hope he sues this company, this network, this broadcasting company. I really don't know what to label him. I hope he sues him into the ground.
No, he don't have to sue. This is what he do, Chris, right? If you want to let a candle die, just don't even pay no attention. It'll go away. By him suing, guess what? Now this scumbag of a company, it's on TV every day. Peyton Manning is linked to Peyton Manning. So when you think of Peyton Manning, you're gonna think of this forever. No, don't sue it. Don't even pay any mind. Because the second you pay any mind and you sue, every time you think about this company, oh, they are credible. They are and guess what? Sad to say, if he pursues this, they're going to be a credible source because they're the ones that went after Peyton Manning. Did they win? No, but they're a credible source because guess what? They went after Peyton Manning. And people who are, bogus and who are airheads, they live for the drama. They live for the drama. So this company is only going to fester and become even popular. So
you're probably right.
I wouldn't even sue. Don't give them nothing. Say thank you and keep it moving. Just win. So while we on the topic of NFL, I got a lot of notes here. I mean, I won't go over a lot of them, but I'll go over some. In other news, Giants lost. Good. Good.
That wasn't a loss, man. That was an embarrassment.
I was trying to be nice. I was trying
to come out there and get spanked like they did. Listen, Minnesota is a good team. Mm-hmm. They're a playoff team, and I'm not taking anything away from them. But 49-7, I think it was, or 14?
17.
17?
Mm-hmm. That's an ass whooping.
After they played the way that they played against Carolina,
mm-hmm.
to come out and lose like that to Minnesota,
mm-hmm.
just, you know what? It's time for you to go fishing.
Yep.
It's just time. You know what? You guys are overdue for your fishing trip. And just don't even show up next week. Don't even show up. Just go.
And it's so funny, right? Because I had put on my notes. I put about the Cardinals are creeping slow. Then I said for the Vikings to play spoiler. Now, when I said this, they were kind of out of the playoffs, but the way they played yesterday, they still might be able to creep in.
You talking about the Vikings?
Yeah.
The Vikings already?
I'm sorry, yeah, they are. But at the time, it was like,
yeah.
But Green Bay lost. And so now they kind of running their division, and they were doing it so slow. Everybody wasn't paying them attention, but they just crept in. So with the Cardinals, and it's ironic that both of these teams that I wrote 2 weeks ago are in the playoffs and they're doing well, and they look like they can win their. Well, I know the Cardinals going to win their division. But
the Cardinals division is wrapped up, and Cardinals actually, if Carolina loses next week,
got first round bye.
And Arizona wins, Arizona will be the number 1 overall seed.
That's crazy.
I know. They'll both be 14-2.
Mm-hmm.
And Carolina and Arizona would get the number 1 seed. So even everybody thought, they lost to Atlanta, so they could just take the next week off. They certainly cannot, because they need to beat Tampa Bay to get the number 1 seed with a bye and home field advantage. They need that. So Carolina's got to come out and play. Arizona is probably looking right now like the best team in the NFL.
You know what?
After the beat down that they put on Green Bay, I mean that was a beat down.
Hey, so I don't know if you've seen my notes, but you haven't. I'm just saying. So I'm looking at it, right? So I just said, and just looking at my notes, that this season looks like a fantasy football league because it's top heavy with good teams, and the bottom it's a lot of teams is bad. Usually it's like mixed up, but this year it's like it looks like a fantasy football. If you know fantasy football, you have like 1 or 2 good teams, and that's it. And everybody else they just crabs in the bucket. So it's been like that this year. I'm like, wow, like how are these teams doing it? How are these teams just like looking like trash? But the team that's looking like trash, who people thought they're coming in, like the Vikings, making a run for it. The Jets, Kansas City Chiefs, teams like that, teams who people kind of had out,
Kansas City actually has a chance to win the division.
Yes, they do. They do.
If the Broncos lose this week, and the Broncos lose next week, and Kansas City stays on their winning streak, they'll win the division, and Denver won't make the playoffs.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Because AFC is so. There's a lot of 10-win teams in the AFC already. Because that's why if the Jets win against Buffalo next week, which I expect them to,
which they should,
and if Steelers win, the Steelers are out, and the Steelers will be 10-6.
Crazy.
They'll be 10-6, and they'll be out of the playoffs.
Crazy.
It's like that. It's like the year where the Dolphins were like 10-6, and they didn't make the playoffs. Back when Ricky Williams was there.
I was just about to say, yes, I do, because didn't the Jets like kind of get in, something like that? Yeah,
the Jets happened to get in. Well, the division winners are pretty much top heavy in the NFC and the AFC, except for Washington. It's just fucking. And that's just a disgrace. But listen, nobody from the NFC East should make the playoffs. Exactly. Nobody.
I think it should be a rule. Like, listen, I don't care if your record is horrible, you're not making it. I don't care who you are, you're not making it, because that don't make no damn sense. That don't make no damn sense. But again, like we were talking about, it's like fantasy football. They found a way to get in a horrible division. They did. Horrible division.
So did Houston, who I thought was dead.
Done. I thought they were done. After like 7 games. Crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
It really is.
Crazy.
It just is.
Okay, so also, I want to address the Carolina Panthers. So I was talking to my man Kenny Fofo. Shout out to Mad Dog Kenny Fofo. We was on Facebook, and he seen my comment, and I was like, okay, when the Carolina Panthers damn near, they gave up 28 unanswered points. But they still found a way to win. I don't want to say unanswered because they ended up winning, but 28 points that the defense gave up. So I said, great teams, great defenses know how to shut the door and play. And Kenny was like, yeah, you are right. They defense found a way to win, so it's a good job. But I was saying, no, great defenses find a way to keep teams out, shut the door, close. There's no coming back. Carolina defense have been failing miserably on the defensive end. Cam gets them big. Cam gets them where they need to go, and then guess what? They take their foot off the pedal. Mind you, they have a great defense, great middle linebacker, Luke Kuechly, who I think is probably the defensive player of the year. But to watch them go through that, and then to lose yesterday, the way they did, it's no way they're going to beat anybody in the NFC. I don't think that they're not making it to the Super Bowl. They're not.
Well, I think I disagree. I think that they'll beat everybody in the NFC, but I do think they have a problem if they got to play Arizona. Home or away. I think Arizona has a better defense than them, and Arizona has a better offense than them. And I just think Arizona, they better hope somebody takes care of Arizona. Because it would be tough for them to beat Arizona. But that aside, I don't see Seattle beating them. Not after they just got smoked by St. Louis at home. I don't see Washington. I don't see Green Bay or Minnesota. I only see Arizona beating the Panthers.
But again, we had that discussion about the Rams. The Rams, they play tough teams tough. They play bum teams like bums. Okay? Now.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. But you don't get whooped like that by St. Louis at home. Not at home.
No, but listen. If you don't come and score and stop them from scoring, it's going to be a long night. Because you have to remember that if you look at Carolina's division and who they played this year, I give them props. But again, you play a St. Louis team who's used to playing Seahawks, the Cardinals, the 49ers. You get a team like that. If you look at who Carolina played, the Falcons, the Saints, Tampa Bay. They played a subpar Giant team. Now, they play a subpar Giant team who almost beat them. Now, just imagine if they play another team in the playoffs who are hungry.
Now, hold on now. Let's not forget that. They went up. Let's not forget that Carolina went up to Seattle when Seattle was good. and they put a whooping on them at home. Came back in the fourth quarter, came with the game-winning touchdown to Greg Olsen. Let's not forget, they got a quality win over. They got quality wins over Seattle.
Okay.
They got quality wins over Green Bay.
Okay.
I mean, listen, their resume, barring their division, because we know what their division is.
Yeah.
But barring their division, they got some quality wins. I mean, they really, really got some quality wins. So I just can't dismiss them. Now
I'm not. But
I can't dismiss them.
But when you look at who they didn't play, you are right. I can't dismiss them. But they didn't play the Patriots. They didn't play. They didn't play the Jets, the Steelers, or the Cardinals. Now, I'm not talking about teams that that you could beat. I mean, granted they damn near were undefeated. But when you're talking about teams who are going to give you pressure, applying pressure is different from when you're playing and beating a team in regular season. Because we all know playoff football is a total different ball game. Ask the Giants and ask the Steelers. It don't matter how you get to the ball as long as you play. So now, when you're not used to making adjustments, that's going to be a problem. Again, I don't see them going to the Super Bowl. I don't see them going to the Super Bowl. I could be wrong, but I don't see them going to the Super Bowl.
Right now, I wouldn't pick them to go to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't pick them over Arizona.
Nah.
I wouldn't be shocked, and I don't see anybody else in the NFC beating them but Arizona. So, listen, can they lose first round? Because I remember they had a number 2 seed the year the 49ers went up there, and Colin Kaepernick had to shut the Superman down and kiss the muscle on him.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that very, very clearly. I think they went like 12-4 that year. I want to say they went like 12-4 that year.
They had 12. They had a good season.
It was them in Seattle.
Yep.
We had to go on the road. We were a wild card. We made the wild card, so we had to go on the road every week. We went on the road to Green
Bay, and then we went to Carolina.
On the road to Carolina, beat them. Went up to Seattle, got robbed. We won't go there.
Had we not got cheated, by the refs, we would have won.
We will not go there.
And guess what? I'm a dab on their ass for that. I'm a dab on.
But that's back when the Niners was good. But I say all of that to say, Carolina has shown that they can get a number 1 seed in a bye if they come back and lay a stinker. So I mean, listen, they're probably going to have to play in their first game. They're either going to play. They're going to have to play either Seattle or, let's see, they'll be the number 1 seed, so they'll get the lowest seed. Seattle's going to be a 5 seed going against Washington. I think Seattle's going to win that game.
Okay.
The thing is, the Minnesota-Green Bay game is going to be the 3 and the 6, no matter what. It's who's going to be the 3 and who's going to be the 6. They play each other the last week of the season. The winner of that is going to win the division, so they'll be the 3 seed. The loser of that is going to be the last wild card at the 6. So they're going to have to play either one of those teams, one of those two. I don't know, man. Tough. They could easily lose. I don't see them losing to Minnesota, but if Green Bay is the 6th seed and Green Bay beats Minnesota in the first week of the playoffs in the wild card, I could see Green Bay going up to, Carolina and beating them.
I got the Cardinals beating the Seahawks. The Panthers to advance to the Super Bowl right now. Now, granted,
say that one more time.
I got the Cardinals beating the Panthers and to advance to the Super Bowl.
Oh, so you got them beating them in the NFC Championship.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's if they beat them, if the Panthers beat the Cardinals, I won't be like, oh my God, I'm shocked. No. But at this point, how they're playing, and it's like Carolina just running out of steam, man. Just a little bit, because like I said, playoff football is different.
Just a little bit. I will say this though about Seattle. About Arizona. I don't like how they look against good defenses, and Carolina at its best is a great defense. And even though I feel that the Cardinals have the overall better defense, I feel that if the Panthers are playing up to par defensively and you keep Cam in it, Cam will win. Cam can single-handedly win you the game. He can very well do that. So, you know, it's going to be a tricky game if they wind up playing each other. I would love to see it. I tell you that.
It's going to be a good one.
I do think the Super Bowl champ is coming out of the NFC. I tell you that.
I can see that.
I believe that the Patriots, if they make it to the Super Bowl, if they don't, I just don't see them as a better team than either Carolina or Arizona. Obviously, Denver just, you know, they just don't got the horses at the moment.
Yeah.
Cincinnati with no
playoff experience.
I feel crazy saying it, but with no Andy Dalton, I just feel like they don't got a chance. And
they didn't have a chance with him, man.
Yeah, you're right. And Pittsburgh, subsequently with the loss yesterday to the Ravens, pretty much wrote their ticket out.
That's crazy.
Of the playoffs.
Now you, if I was a betting man, I would have had my money full throttle on the Steelers against a.
I did it. I am a betting man, and they cost me
against
that
against
was a
the injured Ravens. I'm like, yo,
Ryan Mallett. Ryan Mallett, who was a bum on Houston, Texas team this year, not last year, not a couple of years, this year, who was cut for missing the team flight. They let him come on a 12-day. He's been signed with the Ravens for 12 days, and he looked like the second coming of Joe fucking Namath out there. I mean, he carved Pittsburgh up, carved them up. And they had no answer for it. Antonio Brown was freaking a world beater against the Denver Broncos last week. Didn't even know he was playing.
Hey, man, you know how it is when you're playing against your rival, man.
I mean, listen, and I'll take that under consideration. So that's why I gave the Ravens the first dub, because there was no Big Ben. You still had Martavius Bryant out with suspension. I think that's the game that Le'Veon Bell did play the whole game of that one, but yeah, I gave them the pass. So you know what? Baltimore beat them as early in the season. Baltimore still kind of had hope. Okay, they got the dub, no problem. But this game, after you just come off that big win against Denver, you can't put up more than 17 points against the Ravens.
I agree.
Who suck?
Yes.
Who sucks? I don't, man. I can't call it. I can't believe that. I can't wait to see what Ryan Mallett does this week against Cincinnati. Let me see what he does against them. That's
gonna be fun. I can see now, watching that now. I'm intrigued. But but I think that the Bengals are in it anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So with that, talking about who's this and who's that. So I kind of sketched out some MVP awards and who I think who's going to win what.
Okay.
So I got MVP. I got Cam.
Yeah.
Cam. Offensive Player of the Year, Cam.
Yep. No doubt.
Defensive Player of the Year. It was out of at the time it was out of J.J. Watt and Luke Kuechly, but I think it's Luke.
You think it's Luke Kuechly, huh?
Yeah, I think it's Luke. Offensive Rookie of the Year. What do you think?
No, I don't think it's Luke.
Who do you think?
Oh boy, I think it's either Khalil Mack or J.J. Watt. Listen, and Luke Kuechly deserves to be in the discussion, and if it goes to him, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be upset about it. I just personally think, Khalil Mack, who leads the league in sacks right now, who's just playing like a man possessed. I think you got to give it. I think you got to give it to Mack, but listen, it can go to whoever. My personal pick be Khalil Mack.
I mean, that's not a bad pick, but when you look at the team record and what he's doing for the team,
listen, it's the Raiders. It's not. The team record is not good.
Yeah, but I mean,
the team record is not good.
But like I said, those three that you named, I agree because 2 out of the 3, I had Watt and I had Kuechly. Khalil Watts, he's definitely a beast, definitely a monster, man.
And you know what?
Shouts out to Henny Bud, who are Raider fans, you know.
With the offensive MVP that you were talking about, it's Cam and it's clear cut. I want to make that perfectly clear.
Yeah.
That it's Cam and it's clear cut. But Carson Palmer deserves a little bit of recognition.
He was in that too. He was
also he won't get any recognition for two reasons, because he's on a bad team and he's a receiver. But Julio Jones, his second year in a row, he's had over 120 receptions and more than 1,500 receiving yards. He actually has 1,700 this year. As of this moment, he had 15 change last year. I just think it needs to be noted when everybody talks about the best receiver and they talk about ODB and they talk about Antonio Brown, that Julio Jones has better numbers than all of them. But I'm just going to let somebody sip their tea on that one. I ain't going to say too much more about it, because you know he's my fantasy guy.
Wasn't he hurt too, right?
No, not this year. Last year, he missed. Last year he missed 2 games. Last year he missed 2 games and had 120 receptions and over 1,500 yards. This year he didn't miss any games. Got a $122, and he has 1,700 receiving yards. And I think I want to say he had 8 or 9 touchdowns.
Yeah.
They just don't. You know, it's Matt Ryan. So you know, it's just tough to get touchdowns. You see how he had to get his touchdown yesterday. You know what I mean? You really got to fight to get him with him. So
yeah, I mean, you know, but I'm a avenge my answer. So I got Rookie of the Year Todd Gurley. He playing like a monster, like he never hurt himself.
No question. No question.
Defensive Rookie of the Year is Leonard Williams out of from the Jets. Like, dude, he's like I said, he's keeping the Jets in there. Coach of the Year, Ron Rivera from the Carolina Panthers.
You really can't argue. I mean, you can bring up Bruce Arians. I mean, he makes it hard.
Yeah.
He definitely puts his name in the discussion, but I think you do got to go with Ron Rivera. If they get the number 1 overall seed, if Bruce Arians gets it, then I got to go with Bruce.
Again, I made this list 2 weeks ago, last week. So you know it was still kind of. And comeback player for probably going to be the second time in his career is Carson Palmer.
You think he's going to be the comeback player?
Yeah, comeback player of the year.
Was he hurt? He was hurt
last year.
What, week 3 of last year?
Yeah, but he was, but his team needed him. He was doing his thing, man.
I remember that they were good when he was there, and then they weren't when he wasn't. But I just don't remember when. I don't remember when he got hurt. But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give you that.
Who else would you say? I mean,
I can't think of any. I'm drawing a blank for like who, you know, missed a lot of time last year and have, you know, been eating it up this year. But I'm gonna go with Carson because I really can't think of anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like you were saying about the MVP, you know, Offensive Player of the Year award. I'm sorry. You said Carson. I mean, when you look at what he did to his team, I mean, without him, you saw how they play. I mean, they were down to 3, like the 3rd string quarterback. Because remember, he came in, and then his backup came in, and his backup got hurt, and his damn backup almost got hurt too. So
yeah, I remember Ryan Lindley was quarterback in Arizona, and they could only make up for his ineptitude, but so much.
Yeah, and they almost damn near had to go to a damn double wing. They was like, damn.
Yeah, because he was that bad. And matter of fact, Carolina stole a game from Arizona last year because they had to play each other, and it was Ryan Lindley. It just wasn't. It was easy money. It was easy picking. So Arizona ain't forgot about that.
So
they definitely ain't forget about that.
So if you ask me, so when I started the season, I said it'll be the Seahawks and the Colts. Do you remember when I said that?
I do.
And then he was like, okay, not too bad. Fuck, was I wrong? Yeah. Because I thought that the Colts were going to, they had additions and they had leaders, they had that veteran leadership and they had some guys to come in and out. So I was like, shoot, it looks like the Colts.
Colts need an absolute miracle to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're not out of it, but they need.
But
I think they need They need 5 teams to lose, and then they need another 3 teams to win.
But even if they were to get in, like they're not going far.
No,
they're not going far. Seattle.
Well, not unless they got to play Denver, but they're not going far.
No, they're not going far. Seattle. I thought that they didn't lose anybody. They just got a little better. You know, they added Graham, superstar Jimmy Graham. So I said, okay, well, oh shit, this looked like the team that's going to win it. And then when Marshawn Lynch went down and Sierra put the curse on Russell Wilson, and
you know what? She put the curse on him, and then she put some voodoo on it because then he was unstoppable. 19 touchdowns, no interceptions in like 5 games, and they came back to reality yesterday. But you're right. It was
shit don't mean nothing.
Like Sierra.
Shit don't mean nothing in playoffs.
Goodies on him.
Yes. Shit don't mean nothing in playoffs because playoffs you gotta play. But again, Seattle might. I'm just glad that Richard Sherman is. We don't got hear his freaking trap. I'm glad, and I know you happy. I'm
always happy. Any negative thing that happens to Richard Sherman, so
I know you're happy. So, it's I can't even tell you who's gonna be in it. I can't even tell you. I'm at next week. Hit me next week. I can tell you. I can guess. I could make a good ass educated guess. You're gonna say that boy sound like he know what he talking about. That's how good my educated guess gonna be. When I guess the hell out of these damn predictions. So we got that, so the NFL we gonna touch that, and it's like the bittersweet moment for Chris and I and people that watch football, because even though it's getting through the thick of things, and you about to watch some great football, it's about to come to an end. It's kind of like if you had like a prom, or like your prom or like a school dance or something that you adore, like I'm getting to dance with my girl. Oh man, this is one of the best nights of my life. After this, we about to hang out, and she gotta be home by 12 o'clock. So you're gonna have to end this real quick. It's coming to an end, and it's like, damn. I mean, we ain't at her house yet. Yeah, it's like, damn. I gotta close
the way you gotta look at it is, really, after this, there's only 5 more weeks of football left. And one of those weeks, there will be no football. So there's really only 4 actual, games of football, 4 weeks of games of football left. And then one of those weeks, there'll only be 1 game, which will be the Super Bowl. So, we're getting close to that time.
Yeah, I know.
Getting close to that time.
I know. We gotta bring the date home, but it's okay. We had a good night. But we ain't done with football though. College football. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was writing the hell out of this. I was like, man, I got some stuff to say. So, with the bowl week coming up, we watch some, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this bowl, usually like bowl week, when you watch bowl week, even if it's like just the okay teams, like you're watching good games, like, yo, did you see that? This year it's like real quiet. Is it me, or does it seem like this bowl was just like, let's just hurry up and get this over with?
Well, you gotta remember a lot of the big teams ain't play yet, so you gotta hold off on that.
No, but see, but that's the thing.
That Indiana Duke thing was pretty controversial. They've been talking about that all day.
Yeah, I'm saying, well, I didn't catch that. No, but I'm saying, but it's usually like somebody to really like, give you like a look. Wow, yo, did you see that dude from like Northwest Catholic Community College in D3? Like, it's usually some schools or some players that's really, stepping out. Like, yo, watch that kid from Central Michigan, or watch this one from Kentucky. He's gonna do something. Or schools that you don't really kind of watch. But it's like, I
would say I didn't feel like that last year. That there wasn't anything like, major that happened in the bowl weeks.
Yeah.
But I also want to say, it also was the beginning of the playoffs, and I thought the playoffs were great. And maybe it might be a little bit of that everything else really doesn't interest you because you're really getting a true champion this year.
No, I mean, yeah, but usually like this is like if you if you're a guy who went to like, I don't know, like Eastern Michigan, like you ball out. You like, yo, listen, because you in prime time because you can only have a few games. Like you don't have like a whole lot of games like they do like during the season. So you're in prime time. And it's usually like, yo, I don't know who that kid is from Eastern Michigan, but yo, he about to tear the combine up. Watch, he about to get some looks. And that's how they get their shine on. Kind of like, college basketball. You watch these teams during a tournament, and that's what make it fun. And usually like during bowl week, you're like, yo, did you see that kid from, Toledo? Wow, did you see that? But it's just like, and I get what you're saying. We haven't seen the big schools, but the big schools, we already know who they are. They're already going to get their name. They already got their credit. But
I mean, there's some big ones coming now. I mean, that Notre Dame Ohio State game for the Fiesta Bowl, that Stanford versus Iowa
like I
for
said,
the Rose Bowl.
Like we know those guys. Like we already know who they are. Like we already know they're gonna show out. But I mean, I want to see a guy from like Eastern Michigan show out. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see a guy from motherfucking Florida International, show up. Like I want to see somebody like that.
I see what
you understand what I'm saying? Like those, I want to see those guys. Like we know the big schools that we've been seeing, the top 25 teams. I'm sorry, like the top 30. Like we know they're gonna shout. Like we already know what they're gonna do. But I want to see a guy from like Chubaluka Community College come out. You know what I mean? just act the fool. Like damn, this guy got hops. Man, that boy good. You know what I mean? But so I didn't see that. But I would say I had wrote down some bowl games to watch, and you can kind of chime in if you want to, and disagree to agree. But one of the games who for recruiting purposes that I think will be because like I said, everybody want to win, but I think now with recruiting, really heavy, and a lot of big schools are still trying to find their guy. You got teams like TCU and Oregon playing. You know what I'm saying? So those are going to be high scoring games. But
yeah, I mean, both down years for both of those programs. But yeah.
So when you're talking about kids who are coming, recruiting, those kids like, yo, this is going to be the make or break from where I'm going to go. This is going to be where can I really start watching this game. Also, you got teams like Florida, Georgia, Penn State, quarterback issues. Will Grier from Florida, he's not coming back to week 7. So you got a lot of kids who's looking at this like, I made that verbal commitment to Florida State. I might want to go to Florida now. I might want to try to, throw my hat in the ring. You got these big schools where these kids can play now. Some of the anticipated games that I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see that Ohio and Notre Dame game. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see it.
Should be a good game. Should be a real good game.
I cannot wait to see that. Another good game.
I'm not personally thrilled.
I know,
but
Chris is Ohio State fan. Chris feels that Ohio State should be playing in the playoffs.
Well, I feel that they blew their chance by not doing what got them to the dance in the first place, which is giving the ball to big Zeke Elliott. And they wanted to get nice and cute with JT Barrett, and it played Michigan into the national championship.
But I told you that, Chris. I told you when we were at Florida, we had the same kind of, we was doing the same song and dance. When Tim Tebow won a Heisman, like I think we went like 7-5. It was like an ugly year, but Tim Tebow, he was able to make it look good. And we didn't. And that year, coincidentally, we had lost to Michigan because that was Lloyd Carr's last year. So we had went and we lost to Michigan. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, just fucking give him the ball and run. But he wanted to be cute. And then next year he made it for, he won the national championship, and he did good. But I still want to see Ohio State and Notre Dame. I want to see what Notre Dame's going to do. Like, how are they going to respond? I'm also kind of want to see Georgia and Penn State. Now, it's not 1981. Herschel ain't running the ball. Joe Paterno ain't on the sideline for Penn State. But just to see, because if this game is really going to set some precedent, because Mark Richt, he's out. He's going to Miami. Penn State They're kind of like on a decline. So this win is really what these programs need. You know, have all the old alumni, you know, come out and support these two teams. And again, this is going to be, okay, who is going to, you know, respond after having a subpar season. So I do want to see those. And I want to see Florida and Michigan down. Bittersweet. Because, you know, you got my boy, you know, Harbaugh on the Michigan sideline. And underlining theme, I root for Michigan a little bit. I know you don't want to hear that.
I don't want to hear it.
It's okay. But I'm a Florida Gator. But of course I want my Gators to win. But hey, this is where either Florida Gators are going to, you know, set a precedence for next season, or they're going to just shit the bed. But I think that, you know, I think that they might, you know, got this one because Michigan runs that power eye. They run what Florida's used to seeing, you know. So I think it's going to be a tough game. But I really want to see those. How about you, man? What do you want to see?
Well, you listen. I it's called "Don't Shoot the Messenger." Yeah. I got to be 100% authentic and real. I don't want to see it. I don't care about any game. I'm not gonna lie, and I know that makes me sound like a sore loser or maybe a sourpuss.
No, of course it does.
But I don't care to see any game. I don't even know if I'll watch Ohio State play Notre Dame, because if they lose, it might even piss me off even more. And you know, listen, I'm from a big time school. So are you. I play for championships, man. Everything else is just, you know, it doesn't mean anything. We should be playing for a back-to-back, you know, national championship. That's what we should be doing. And since we're not doing that, yeah, my interest is not peaked at all. I'm not gonna lie.
Cool. Hey, listen.
And I'm not saying that there's not good games out there. I'm just saying because let me tell you something. That Alabama versus Michigan State, that Oklahoma versus
Clemson.
What's that?
Clemson. Those are good games. Those are really good games. Obviously, the Ohio State Notre Dame game, and like I said, the Stanford versus Iowa. Those are all good quality games. On any other week, if this was the regular season of the college football, I would be watching those games. Seeing that this is the bowl week and championship, I'm sure I'll find myself doing something else. Maybe I'll go to the Cheesecake Factory with my lady or something. I don't know. Nah, you won't. Stop lying. You're gonna be watching something. Stop lying.
I'm not
you love sports. You know what? You know what? You sound like me, and I tell people I'm not watching football no more. How? You an avid football player? I mean, you an avid football fan. It makes me sound good. Damn, I'm not watching NFL. I don't give a damn who win NFL. I don't care who win. Okay, because my Niners, we not in it. Okay, but my Gators, we still in it. So you know, there's still a little football left. You know, there's still a little football left in the tank. But again, Chris ain't anything. He gonna go to Cheesecake Factory, but I'll be damned if he don't watch football. And if he don't watch football, I'll be shocked.
Maybe I'll play some Fallout 4 or something.
Yeah. Okay. So now if fucking Notre Dame beat Ohio State, then what?
Again, you know what? I can't invest my whole heart into it because, you know, we already didn't live up to what we were supposed to do this year.
But
you know,
hey,
that's neither here nor there.
So, hey, whatever. But with that being said, I still think, and you know, we talk Clemson is the team to beat. Okay, Clemson is the team to beat. I think that they're gonna win the national championship. When you look at their scoring, 455 to 226. And they average 37.6 points a game. That's a lot of freaking points. And I like their uniforms. They're old school. You know how I like old school uniforms, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I like it. It's a solid color, a number. That's it. All this other shit, this on a collar, and you know you pointing up to down to the devil inside. All that glitter and glue. I don't need that. That shit don't mean nothing. Give me a T-shirt with a number. That's it. Let's go play some ball. You'll find out who the hell we are after the game.
I'm not going to lie. The best jerseys I've seen all year are from the 49ers and Ohio State when they do their whole black just the red numbers. And them jerseys is pretty tight, man. Them jerseys is pretty tight.
You know who got the best jerseys? You know, damn Penn State. Penn State. Yep.
Now
yep.
I'm good.
White T-shirts and a blue number. There you go. You know who we got better jerseys? Michigan.
All right, so now that we're gonna wrap this show up,
Chris Chassa. Oh shit!
You want to get your last words in?
Yeah. Like I said, Chris hate the school from up north, right? What y'all call the school from up north? Y'all say
team up north.
Yeah, team up north. But I'm gonna be moving along though. But I just think Clemson, like they're the team to beat. They only had like 3 close games. They looking great. Deshaun Watson, I mean that boy good. They got a good receiving core, good D. I mean they're just playing lights out. Now, as far as the playoff, I was talking to one of my boys, Chris Dunson. Shout out to Chris. That's my boy in Texas, and he said it should be a top 10 playoff team. So I said how? He said 1 and 2 should have bye weeks. But I'm saying 8 teams. He said 10. I said 8 teams, 1 and 2 bye week. And go from there. What do you think?
I like how it is.
4 teams?
Nah. Yeah, I like how it is.
That's
the best 4 teams. Can't nobody argue me at this point that the best 4 teams ain't in. So I'm this year, but you're gonna have a controversy like last year. They should have been in. To me, wasn't no controversy. I mean,
of course, because Ohio State jumped in. Yeah, of course.
But I mean, Ohio State jumped in after winning their conference championship, which the Big 12 didn't have any. Not only did we win our conference championship, we won the 59 to donut. I had no problems with that, and I knew we were getting in. It's the way we won, and that we had a conference championship. I mean, if the Big 12 thought they got robbed, they need to get some other teams to the Big 12 so they can have a conference championship. Listen, I like the way it is right now. I don't really have a problem with it. It still keeps teams on edge. Listen now, you might be able to lose one, but even if you lose one, you might still not get in. So it still puts an emphasis on every team being undefeated, and or at least attempting to be undefeated.
I mean, you just gotta lose early. No, I just don't like it because
you gotta lose early. Definitely gotta lose early.
I don't like it because I feel that you have some great teams. It just might not be their night, and they lose late. Now they're done. And you got some bum teams like you said. You got them Notre Dames. You got those teams out in the Big 12. They can sneak in because they don't have a conference championship, so it can work to their advantage. But I mean, this year everybody who's in, yes, they should be in. But I'm just still open the door for a few more teams, even if it's 6.
I mean, look, even when it was just 2 teams. Really only 1 year there was maybe some controversy. That was that LSU USC year where they had split champions. But other than that, it was pretty much always the 1 and 2 team that were playing each other. So no, I'm fine with it. If they expand, okay. But I'm fine with the way it is. If it never moves from here.
Nah, they need some more teams. But hey, we'll see. But moving right along because I know you gotta do your thing, right?
Yeah. The clock is ticking.
So just I just want to talk NBA real quick. Your boy Steph Curry, what up?
I mean, what's not up with him? He's the winner. I mean, he's the winner in life right now. Got two beautiful daughters. Obviously has a gorgeous wife. Knocking down threes every chance he gets.
Oh my God.
Golden State is still the team to beat. I know they stumbled to Milwaukee, but listen, it's a long season. You can't win them all.
Yeah.
Listen, I personally, I need to withhold my judgment on if they'll break the record until they get to the All-Star break.
Okay.
The Bulls were 35-2 when they got to the All-Star break. So if they can get to the All-Star break with 2 losses, then I fully expect for them to break the Bulls record. Fully. But until then, I gotta withhold on if they're gonna get to 72 and all of that stuff until they get to the All-Star break.
Okay, well, that's what we got.
if I had to pick, gun to my head, I'm leaning towards, they're going to get it. They're going to get it because they look good against Cleveland. They look good against Cleveland on an off night for them. That's what I liked about it, because that was not a good Golden State team that beat Cleveland on Christmas Day, and they still beat them. So they got some big games coming up, man. I can't wait to see them play the Spurs. I can't wait to see them play Oklahoma City. I can't wait, man. But Golden State is the number one team in the NBA, and quietly, San Antonio is number 2. So
San Antonio always going to be there, regardless.
They bounced back really well from last year. So I mean, if Golden State wasn't 28-1, I think, or 29-1, everybody be talking about the Spurs were like 24-5 or something like that. So
because this is history, we don't see this often. It's damn near 20 years.
Let's not just poo-poo on the Spurs now.
No. I will poo-poo on the Spurs because I don't like the Spurs.
I don't like them either, but the Spurs might fuck around and get 70 dubs. You know what I mean? Like, that's totally conceivable that the Spurs might fuck around and get 70 dubs.
But you're right.
That could happen.
You're right.
So.
You're right. I don't care. Now I'm joking. So, with that being said, I think it was a good show.
Definitely good to get back on the mic.
I'm gonna tell people, if you haven't seen it, go see Creed. It's a great movie.
Great movie.
It's in the top 3 Rocky movies of all time. Great. I mean, like the message, everything.
Top 3 boxing movies?
No, Rocky movie. When the whole franchise.
Movies? Okay.
Yeah, it's
it's definitely better than 3 and 4. So yeah.
You didn't like 4?
Not so much. I mean, listen, it was Rocky. I watched it, but listen, I mean.
But that's when Apollo Creed died, man. That's when he went to Russia, man. He did his thing.
Yeah, I'm good.
So you just like 1 and 2?
I like 1 and 2. 1 is obviously my favorite.
You better not say 5.
Followed by 2. 3 and 4, just and of course they got their good liners in there, but Creed was definitely something to.
Hold on. So you like Rocky 5 too?
Yeah, not really.
That was horrible. So
not really.
So you don't like 3, 4, and 5?
Those are strong words to say I don't like them, but they weren't great. I can tell you that. They weren't great. There's certain parts of Rocky 5 and Rocky 4 and Rocky 3 that
Rocky
I like.
5 was horrible. Tommy Gunn was horrible.
Well, listen, I respected the whole,
horrible.
Coming out of, like a 15-year retirement.
Horrible.
To fight the current best guy to a draw.
Horrible.
It was Rocky-ish. It was, it had that Rocky feel to it.
What, Creed?
But no, Rocky 5.
Horrible.
But no, it wasn't a great movie. But
horrible.
Creed, on the other hand,
that was great.
Creed was great from start to finish. Shout out to, when you watch it, Bianca, aka Tessa Thompson is her real name. Creed's girl in that. She played. She did a phenomenal job.
Yes, she did. Michael B.
If there's any time where she needs me to come through and help her out with moving something, she just needs a strong black man in her life to help out with a couple things.
Who is she, like an Instagram girl? Who is she?
What'd you say?
Like, was she from Instagram or who is she?
No, she's a real actress. She was in Dear White People, where everybody hate Chris. I don't know if you ever seen that. She was in When a Stranger Calls. She was in a couple. She was in a couple dramas. She's been around for a while. She's a pretty seasoned actress.
Well, I'm gonna say this: 1, shout out to Michael B. Jordan. He did a great job. And 2, your girl
did a great job.
Your girl
Tessa Thompson.
Yes. Hold on. What's her name?
Tessa Thompson. She's gonna get some calls after this movie. I can see her. I can see her doing like a little Rosa Parks movie or something like that. Something. Damn, you dating her like she old as fuck.
No. I'm just saying, like a young Rosa. Before Rosa got on the bus. Before Rosa got on the bus.
All right. I'll take.
But I'm just saying, she's gonna be in some movies. She's gonna be in something.
You're talking about movies, but Creed was a real good movie. Mm-hmm. Star Wars was just alright. I don't understand what all the hype was.
I never seen a Star Wars in my life, So I wouldn't even know what the hell you talking about.
It was just you heard it here first.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't bad, but it was, it wasn't, best movie I ever saw. And goodness gracious, The Hateful Eight by Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
If you want to see a good movie,
that's
man,
crazy.
you got to see that.
Yo, you know what? I didn't even finish
movie.
watching that movie. I fell asleep in the movie theaters. Wink, wink. You know I'm Chris. I
fell asleep in the movie theaters watching it too. Wink, wink.
So I didn't finish it yet. So I'm gonna go back tomorrow when it's Fight Out Tuesdays and watch it again. But it's great. Quentin Tarantino, he's a sick son of a bitch, but I love his movie.
Let me tell you something. The best director of our generation
love his movies.
is Quentin Tarantino, without a
Crazy.
doubt.
He's crazy.
The Hateful Eight is definitely going to have you on the edge of your seat. It's going to have you laughing. It's going to have suspense for you. And it's just an all-around great movie. So in my order, it'd probably be The Hateful Eight, Creed, and Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'll rank those three right now.
Okay. All right, cool. So, any final words? Because, like I said, I just want to say, before you even say that, I just want to thank you, brother, for being loyal, humble, and always there to keep this engine going. Because you at an undisclosed location, but you are there. So I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate you helping my dream, come true. I appreciate you, always being there when I need you, regardless of what. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, and I love you from the bottom of my heart, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, man, thank you, man. It's
Appreciate
all love, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate
I appreciate the love, man, and I'll send it right back, man. Just, my final words is, man, thank you for, bringing me into your dream and inviting me in here to take this ride with you, and, putting up with me. In my crazy hectic schedule, you still always make it work for us. So, man, I'm definitely gonna send that love back. You're my brother from another.
Definitely, man.
And
definitely.
I want to keep this train, going forward, man. Because this show, it means so much to me. I know it means so much to you, and and all the fan love that we get. Yeah. No matter how little or how big, man, I appreciate all of it, man. Yeah. And every time I see any kind of love, every time I see a listen up there, man, it just warms my heart, man, because I don't feel nothing but love, man. So
yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Thank you, brother. You're gonna do what you do, and we will definitely check you guys Friday, where we'll have a guest, my boy D Ruck from the Rucker Report. He'll be dropping through. Yeah, He was hilarious, man. Yeah. He was hilarious. He's a Packers fan, so he might get up here cursing, and he don't even curse like that. He might start cursing. But thank you again for listening to all your loyal listeners. Thank you. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Keep your brother dream alive. God bless. Thank you.
Peace.